You start off like that, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, guys? Back at it again. Performance Academy, episode 9, I think.
8.5, 9, somewhere around there.
Somewhere, I'm pretty sure it's 9.
9. Yeah. 9. Yeah.
9. With co-host Zach Rowe and
me. I'm Josh.
Yeah, okay. And me. Yeah, we're back at it again. So, this episode we were supposed to do with our boy Jaden, but he had some last minute things
He
come
flaked. Fuck you. I'm
up.
just kidding, Jaden.
just talk shit down before he comes on.
I hope to get you here on episode 10.
Yeah, he'll be here eventually. He had just work busy. During the pandy, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So it's understandable. So it's just me and Josh this time, and that's cool. We were trying to do it this weekend. You went to Mammoth.
I did go to Mammoth.
Unannounced to me. I was planning to do the podcast with Jaden then, and then I texted you, and you're like, "Ooh, it's gonna be in Mammoth."
Yeah.
I had to break it to you. So I was like, "Shit,
Yeah.
all right."
It was super not last minute, so.
Yeah,
I gotta
give me all the notice.
Yeah.
We do this every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Could have definitely let me know, but it's all right.
Yeah.
You already told me, but how'd Mammoth go?
It was fun. It was a good time. I took last season off snowboarding, so I just kind of get back into it. All my friends are pretty good though, so kind of had to push myself a little bit and got broke. I didn't break, but I got broke, a little bit on Sunday. Got beat up, yeah. So I'm still recovering from that. So I'm not actually doing anything physical this week except jiu-jitsu. I didn't even roll on Monday, and I maybe shouldn't have today, but I'm a little bit of a meathead, still.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so that was fun. I'm going to be on more this winter quite a bit.
You guys normally go to Mammoth? Or?
No, not.
It's just so damn far.
Yeah, it is.
You guys drive?
Yeah, we drove. I slept. So,
yeah,
but
that's nice.
But yeah, I'm probably going more. I ordered some stuff. Actually, I ordered some low profile knee pads to put on my shorts and some fall or impact shorts that one of my buddies had too up there, just to help with falls, especially if I'm going to be putting a lot of stress on my body with jiu-jitsu, since I'm going to be training that a lot more and still resistance training and whatnot. I don't need any more problems with my fall.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck up your joints,
Yeah.
your knees, and your hips and ankle and whatnot.
Yeah, so hopefully when I fall, I land on that. So I landed on my stomach.
Well, what do the impact shorts do? What are they?
They're just like sliders, sliders are, right?
Yeah,
And
like
they
for
just
baseball?
Yeah,
Or soccer?
Yeah,
or
whatever.
sure.
Yeah, and then they just have they just have padding on them.
Oh, okay.
So it just looks like it's padded around it. So
Padding in them.
and that will help too, because I don't know if you've ever fallen snowboarding before.
Yeah.
When you fall on your ass and you feel you rip it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that will kind of help stop that a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't fallen on my ass. Yeah, I probably will though soon. But I fell on my stomach on a pipe, so I don't know if they have anything to stop that. But yeah,
No, not really. You have to wear an umpire chest
yeah,
pad
something like that. Yeah, maybe I should start putting some more core exercises.
Yeah, brace that fall a little bit better.
Yeah, who knows? But
yeah, but I texted you if you guys go to Big Ring at that extra spot. I don't think I went snowboarding once last season either.
No, yeah, we'll definitely go a lot. So I'll let you know.
And yeah, dude, I wanna go.
But the only thing is, I think the prices are even more this year. Someone was saying that it's up to 100 or something at Big Bear, maybe.
Fuck, for
a day. I mean, this is all
lift ticket.
Yeah, this is all I've heard through the grapevine, so it might not be that bad right now, but it was 75 when I went 2 years ago, and I think they got bought out recently, so the price might be on that. But yeah,
bummer. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
it's worth it. Snowboarding's so much fun.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, so I digress from that. What's we got?
Yeah, so that's it there. Yeah, we're gonna get our boy Jaden on soon. Yeah, Jaden's we met him through school actually.
Mm-hmm.
We were all in the same group together in Kin 301 Exercise Phys.
Mm-hmm.
Good old days.
Yep.
And then we had a lot of same classes together. We stayed in touch. Jaden's a cool guy. I like him. We'll have him on soon and talk to him about fitness-related stuff. He's got some cool stuff going on. But I'll save that for a later date. All right, I guess we'll talk about our fitness stuff as we do. You can start it off.
I'll have you start off while I grab my notebook so I can just see what is logged there.
Check the notes. All right, so I'll go first then. Nothing really too drastic has changed for me. Just doing similar kind of stuff, cycling once a week, playing a lot of golf. I've been playing consistently, at least one time a week for a couple months now. Which reminds me, why do you keep ducking me on the golf game, bro?
What do you mean? You haven't invited me lately.
I tried to play with you multiple times, like a couple months ago.
That was months ago. And then
Yeah,
I tried.
well-
Did I tell you when I went to the range like a month ago, or did you go a month ago?
What do you mean? I've been going consistent for like a
Oh,
couple
I don't know.
months.
Shoot me a text. Damn.
Damn. No, but like we went, you, me, and Frank. We went to the range. Tell us before, like even we went to Vegas, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go play with my friends," and I was like, "All
Well,
right,
I
I'll
didn't
tag
play with
along."
my friends.
Okay, well that's
Although I don't know if it was that time. The last time I went to the range though, like I did make I noticed a difference when I did something with my swing. I was like, oh, that's what I've been messing up on. 'Cause I'm so inconsistent.
yeah.
Yeah, like there was something where like I changed one thing. I was like, oh, that's what like the inconsistency was. And then I forgot like the rest of my swings to finish the session were good. So I feel like if I get one more good, I mean we can go play whenever. But like I feel like
Well, you said that, but then I asked you, and you're like, "No, I got to do the range more. I got to go to the range more."
Well-
You kept saying that multiple
all right,
times.
just don't take me out with no fucking tour guys. All right,
Oh, you think I'm playing with tour guys? Jesus Christ.
I'm game though. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, because I've been playing golf like a motherfucker. It's fun. It's just kind of like active recovery. Obviously, it's not very
Mhm.
hard on your body. I try and play every Sunday, and then I'll try and go like nine holes or like just hit the range. Some other time, not every week, but maybe every other week for that, And I like doing that. And then I've just been really focusing on my Olympic lifts and my gymnastics type stuff because I'm still considering that CrossFit stuff. We were talking before. Josh is going to be entering a jiu-jitsu competition. He'll probably talk about that in a second, which is real cool. And I've been thinking about my next kind of thing I want to do because I did the triathlon a little while ago. Trying to find the next thing to move towards. I really wanted to do a road race because I got my new bike and I've just been really enjoying that. But no good road races are going on just because I believe just because Corona, which is unfortunate. But yeah, same old. And really been working on my handstands. It was real interesting. I don't know if you saw Ryan's post, but he's been working on his handstands too.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing it up against the wall, and I actually commented on his thing. I was like, "Oh, I've been trying to do these too," and he was like, "Oh yeah, they're a lot harder than they look." And I was like, "Yeah, dude," because I thought I would be able to get it in like a couple of weeks, and now I'm like probably more like a couple 2 or 3 months process. So yeah, that the fitness, like my own personal, I'm just kind of been taking a back seat, really trying to focus more on business related stuff, and yeah, I think that's about it on that.
I don't know.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I don't know if I told you about how like what the changes I made to my own lifting schedule, but I started dialing that in a lot more. And then today, like I said, I kind of set up my next week workouts, whatnot. So I'm gonna have like a total of like 9 workouts, and like I don't really have any like super dedicated rest days per se, because like even when I work, like I'm still kind of active,
Sure.
So I think like so basically I'm gonna have on Sunday I'm just gonna have a strength training session because I need to spread out my volume. So Sundays I'm not gonna waste a day not doing anything. I'm just gonna do that. And then Monday I'll have jiu-jitsu in the morning and then a swim. And then working actively Tuesdays, not doing any type of working out, whatnot. And then Monday's kind of the same thing as, or Wednesday's the same thing as Monday, jiu-jitsu early in the morning and a swim. And then the next day I have work doing my active job all day. And then I'm going to start hitting a jiu-jitsu class that night. And then jiu-jitsu the next morning on Friday, followed by calisthenics on that Friday as well, like I was doing beforehand. And then another additional class of jiu-jitsu on Saturday. So that's 9 total workouts and 11 things being active if you add in my 2 work days. So I'm just going to focus on, it's a lot. So I'm really going to focus on eating for sure.
Recovery.
Hopefully, recovery is going to be the name of the game for sure. And then also just I dialed in my my lifting routine a little bit more too. Because I told you like I dropped the squat, right?
You were you were considering.
Okay,
we were kind of contemplating and talking about that last week.
Yeah, I've dropped the squat, and right now I'm doing the Bulgarian split squat with a dowel and like straps to hold the weight, and like you get me?
What do you mean?
Like like the grips. What are they called? Just the those green ones. Those
yeah. Oh, sure. But dowel.
Yeah, like a dowel for balance, stability.
Oh, word. So holding it down in one hand and then the weight in the other hand.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think I've seen Coach Eugene Teo has been doing that. I think that's where I got the idea from. But I was doing them and man, the mind muscle connection, the pump, is all super good.
Yeah.
And it feels like a really solid exercise because you can really load it pretty heavy. But I'm not even lying. I get such a good mind muscle connection with the glutes and quads. I'm starting programming it for clients and whatnot a little bit more often because that setup, like you can load it pretty well. I'm really
Yeah.
liking that.
So that balance just to reduce the balance
Yeah,
requirements of
yeah,
it.
exactly. And
Interesting.
I'm feeling fresh too because I'm not taxing my core any more than I need to, especially when I go to like 5 days of jiu-jitsu and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm also like with some other stuff, I'm getting a little bit more like I'm reducing some of like the intensity and whatnot, and just trying to dial it in a little bit more and get more specific towards like the push-ups and pull-ups that I need to do like for later on down the line, necessarily.
Yeah.
So like for example, for like on my bench press, like I say like 165 is just my body weight generally. Like I want 10 reps at that. And my first set, I'm dropping 10% of that load. So I'm doing like a 90% of my 10 rep, let's say max right now. And I'm counting that as like my first set, and it's also kind of a warm up set. So that way I'm only really pushing myself really hard on that second set. And then my third set of chest on that day is actually push ups till technical failure.
Mm.
And then so I'm kind of doing that also with like stuff like the RDLs, except I'm doing 3 sets, except the first set's like a 10% drop as well from the other 2 working sets.
Mm-hmm.
And then something with like when I go to do my seal rows on that first day as well, I do like this 2 sets of seal rows, and then my third set's actually pull ups to technical failure, just so I can get more practice with the specific things that I need to do.
Interesting.
And dropping like kind of like the intensity on it as well. And then kind of like the same type of idea on my second day. I'm only really doing that with some exercises, like the vertical pushes and vertical pulls and the horizontal pushes and pulls for the most part. Where I also like on my Superman rows, I also do like the drop 10% on the first set. Second set's normal, like working weight, and then like say the third set on my Superman rows day is actually chin ups to technical failure. And then that's just kind of like the technical, like ultra specific changes that I've kind of made to my routine.
Yeah.
And then also doing like more on that third day, like I said, push ups and pull ups, and then I added in some. I think I added in some Supermans as well. And I do a little bit of arms just for like maintenance and my own ego. I don't know on that. But
yeah, just throw it in.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna on my own try to like stretch a little bit more. But I think like that's a pretty thorough plan of attack for what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
It is pretty like dialed in when I'm doing stuff like that. But like I think it's a good idea for what I'm doing, especially since I'm not training for aesthetics. I'm not training for strength per se right now. I'm training for, I hate to use the word, but functionality and performance.
Yeah, just performance.
And I have that threshold of strength I need for performance. So
and the performance is for, I alluded to it, but the goal is
the jiu-jitsu tournament for sure. And
which is when you said January 9th.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah, so I think now this plan, it's pretty good. The only problem is, like I was talking about earlier, snowboarding. When I go do that, that'll kind of throw a wrench in the overall week. But also, I'm really banking on not getting hurt because this week, like I said, I'm already not training, and getting hurt definitely limits the what you can do. So
100%.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm a little nervous about. So like I said, I'm getting like the protective equipment that I can for But that's the plan of attack that I'm embarking upon.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, I think just the recovery is going to be the most important part with that. That's what I seem to be having as my limiting factor is recovery, and then also just teaching these classes 2 times a week, because I teach on Tuesdays, I teach 4 times a week, and then Friday I teach 5. And you don't think about it, but like my whoop strap is really getting this whoop strap has just been like one of the best things for me personally in my training, because you don't realize how much strain you put on your body just going and doing your work. Like unless you're like just a desk job sitting there punching buttons, like if you're moving around any kind of bit, you're putting a lot of cardiovascular strain on your body. And that's just one thing I'd recommend just keeping an eye on is like you do pretty like manual labor type of stuff. It depends on the day.
I'm generally moving the whole time. Sometimes like I was moving bricks for like 6 hours last week.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like you don't think about it as a workout, but like it's pretty challenging. You're putting a lot of strain on your CNS.
My rectors were firing.
That's.
I was doing high reps, so I was burning it out.
Only Kines major would say that.
Yeah.
Rectors are firing.
Yeah. But that's why I asked you about like that CBD. It's because I want to get all like that's not a huge factor, but like that'll definitely help with recovery.
Yeah, with inflammation.
Yeah, and I also ordered a replacement charger for my Hypervolt because I lost that, so that's been inoperable. So I'm just trying to get.
You lost the battery?
Yeah, no, I lost the charger.
Oh, charger.
So I'm trying to get all like the pieces in place just to like optimize recovery. Because like that's what's gonna be most important is with this routine.
Yeah. And I gotta work more on recovery because I'm just terrible at going to bed on time, and just the problem is with fitness is like it starts early, so a lot of my classes are early as shit, a lot of my clients are early as shit, and I have a bad habit of not going to bed on time. And
there's two things I want to say. One was about my recovery, and then I want to get back to something about you. But was like that's one thing that's been good for me lately since I've gotten on this pretty consistent track of like jujitsu Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then when I work on Tuesday, Thursday, is because when I do jujitsu, I'm waking up at like 5:30, 5:25 or something like that. And when I wake up for work, I'm waking up at like 6:15. So I'm kind of like been getting used to like my circadian rhythms get like pretty on point for the most part now. The only thing is like the weekends throw it off, and I'm also getting tired early on the weekends. Generally like going out and not, but I haven't gone out too much lately. But like I've been getting it more dialed in, so it's not like super inconsistent like it was like the rest of quarantine, where like on a Tuesday I might randomly be up to who knows when or playing video games all night, and then this night then the next Thursday try to wake up early for work if I wanted to. Like Monday through Friday have been consistent for me for a while now, and like that part's starting to feel good. So that's kind of like what you were mentioning too. Yeah. But because you run like some like 3 a.m. classes or something like that, like that's
4 a.m. Yeah, like I have to get up at 2:30. Yeah, and that just I need to stop that.
Yeah. And if you did it every day, not that that'd be fun, but like that'd be better.
It would almost be better because your body would just adapt. But then like you wouldn't know how to do that. Most days of the week I have clients at like 7, so I get up around. What time do I get up? Like 5:30, 5:45. And that's not too bad. But then, then I have to get a butt crack early on Fridays, and then I just want to let my body rest and recover on the weekends, and I sleep in, and then that's almost worse because then it's just
you're not doing that the rest of the week.
Yeah, it's just the sleep. There's just no sleep hygiene. You lack consistency.
It's highly erratic.
And that's what my Whoop, because it gives you tips. And that's what it just is constantly telling me. And I mean, this month, the 25th, I think I have like 2 or 3 green recoveries, which is just atrociously bad. Let me check. What it show me?
What do you think if I got that and I didn't wear it during jiu-jitsu? Do you think I would still get like accurate recovery and whatnot, or no?
I don't really know, because you can manually put it in, but
I'm not being sure.
But you know what? I can't remember if I brought this up to you, but there's an arm strap one. Have I talked to you about that?
You might have mentioned it.
Joe Rogan, because he's a big believer in Whoop, and I saw him. He was doing some kind of like boxing workout, and it's kind of hard to wear a strap when you have boxing mitts on. So there's an arm strap thing that goes around your bicep, and it looks very cushioned, and like it's not like this one where there's a piece of metal, and if you like swing your arm around, you hit someone and cut them or whatever. So you might want to look into that.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking about for someone else, for their sake, if I was doing jiu-jitsu,
Yeah, but the Whoop, I mean, I just personally, I think is very, very good.
Because the other thing I was going to say though is because you're not technically per se working out when you're teaching, but like that would almost be considered like though increasing like your NEAT by like a considerable amount, because like it's not you're not doing your exercise routine, but you're definitely moving a lot, working. What does NEAT even? I just say it's like non-exercise energy expenditure, but like
I think that's the acronym. I think that's
non-exercise. But what is the A? Is it T? Is it NEET? I thought it was NEAT.
I don't know. You're close enough.
But it's essentially
it's just like non-structured activity. The calorie burn
from that.
Yeah.
So like if you did a blue collar job, then you might have a much higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Caloric burn throughout the day.
Yeah, like a stereotypical kind of one is like a construction, and obviously it's kind of like what we were talking about with you earlier. Is you're not sitting at a desk. You're moving around a lot. You're gonna have a much higher calorie expenditure. So you have to take that into consideration. If those two type of people, a like desk worker and then a construction worker, both had a workout routine, you'd have to consider that in your thing. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, I've had literally 3 green recoveries in the last month, and it is the 25th today. And a green recovery is 66% or higher. So it's just like not good, Yeah. So I think I need to stop doing that job, and I'll get into that more in a second. But also, I think what to help with that is with recovery is, have you seen those little dot things that people put on the muscles, and it's like electric stimulus?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few different kinds, but I like the Mac Pro, I think is what it's called. Macro Pro
That's
or
what I
something.
got. Mac Pro.
No, not that one. Or Mark Pro or something like that. I can't remember. But I saw those, and seems like a lot of like high level athletes use that type, like that, or like those boots, those compression kind of things. And I was like, I know I need to improve my recovery in some way, and I do my best with the sleep, but I need to figure out different tools to help with that. So I'm considering getting one of those, possibly for Christmas, or maybe I'll just buy it myself. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like when you can't put in as much work when you don't recover as well.
Yeah.
And I like working out. It just helps me, and I don't have a particular goal I'm working towards, so it's not as big of a deal. But if you're really trying to optimize, I think that's important.
Yeah. A second, like something I was going to ask you, concerning like my long-term goal, like with the Navy per se, like obviously I have the swims in here and whatnot, and like I still like those workouts are still probably pretty good, for that as well. It's good for the test as well that I would need to do. But as far as like the run per se, like I was thinking like I'm still technically I would think like getting a decent amount of work in for like that same bioenergy system that I'm going to use, because like the run is like a 1.5 mile run, which I need to get down to around 9:30. And I was thinking like jujitsu is kind of training like in that range. Like it's not like optimal per se, but I'm not getting like the same like load and like stimulus on the joints that I'll need to, so I'll need to work up to that. But I was thinking as far as like the bioenergy system, like bioenergetics, like that would still be like somewhat training.
Sorta, because it's circuit type of training where,
like what energy system do you think you're primarily using at like a run that lasts 9 minutes and 30 seconds? Because it's not it's not aerobics. Like that's not too high of an intensity.
That would be like your fast glycolytic, slow glycolytic kind of.
Yeah, I knew it was in between there, but I was just saying like which one would it be like.
I think that's.
Both.
Different. Yeah. You're always using all of your energy systems, right? Which one's more so? I couldn't really tell you.
But also, it definitely would be the slow or the fast glycolytic energy system.
Yeah,
that would be the primary like.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do on like your genetics. I think a lot of people are more predisposed to like fast twitch muscle fibers, low twitch muscle or slow twitch muscle fibers, and like which energy systems are going to produce the most energy for you. I think it's going to change based upon your genetic makeup slightly. So I don't know. You'd have to probably do like I don't even know what kind of test you would do to do that. See.
Yeah, I'm banking on, and because like I feel like I could almost say with complete confidence, like I'm genetically predisposed towards like slow twitch, then slow twitch and hybrid fibers as well. Slow twitch, hybrid fibers is like that. I'm generally like that's what I'm good at. I played soccer my whole life. Like that's what I've spent my life. Whatnot. So like I feel like I can pretty quickly get on track with like the run, whatnot that I would need to do. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm really leaving out of like this training,
Yeah. So I was gonna ask, does a VO2 max test? Because you can check there's a way to check the oxidation of like carbs versus fat through your breath, right?
Yeah, like when you have a mask.
Is that through the VO2 max test? Can they do that?
I think.
Or am I conflating that with something else?
I mean, it's definitely like the same. Like, what's the cart? It's called the cart, right? Like the metabolic cart.
Yeah.
Like it's the same equipment, but like, is it like the same test?
Is it? Because I know that for sure. Obviously, test your O2 versus CO2 exchange. But I don't know if it also tests the oxidation of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
I'm not.
See, that's the part that I think it's super interesting. Like now, like whenever I do like get back into fitness, like that's what I'm interested in is like sport performance and like bioenergetics. Like I think that's where you really get down to like the nitty gritty that I like.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that stuff too.
Although we do both like Mike Israetel and like the whole aesthetics, like bodybuilding. Like, it's fun, but like as far as like practicality and like really like applying something, like that's where like I really like want to know more and like study more per se.
And 100%. And what I've noticed with myself is I don't really like the sport of bodybuilding and like doing that type of stuff personally. I like being more athletic because I grew up playing sports, and we've talked about before, when I was like super deep in the hypertrophy, I had zero cardio, and I just didn't feel very athletic, and I just like I liked the way I looked, but didn't like the way I felt.
Yeah.
Because my joints also hurt a lot. You're putting a lot of strain in your body, you know? It's a different type of beast.
Yeah, I like it. Like, I want to go back to it a bit, but I will never go like full bodybuilder, like, and make that my sport per se. You know?
Sure.
Like, it definitely is. Like, I enjoy like the whole science and like the study of it, and like working on a program, going through a program. But like, it's not like
If I had an athlete that came to me, I would love, and they were just 100% compliant and like did what I said, I'd love to do that and take them on that journey. But it's a slow, long process. You know, if you're doing it properly.
Yeah, because I was thinking about like when I was training, like I showed you like the before and after, like of a month of training with my friend, and she wants to like kind of lose weight, build a butt, that type of stuff, you know. And I was like thinking about like comparing that like my buddy who came in who wanted to like build muscle, and like we made really good strength gains and whatnot. But I was just like, man, like there really is like if you're trying to lose weight, whatnot, like that's like you're gonna notice those results like definitely like I feel like much sooner than if you're trying to like build muscle and gain weight per se, because like you have to build the muscle, you know. Like it's not like you're just like cutting calories, you know. Like it is much like slower process to obtain, especially like in the beginning. It's all neural gains for the most part too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of something to notice, I guess.
Yeah, and for sure. So yeah, I don't know how we got on that point. I don't what the fuck were we even talking about? I don't know.
Segued from bioenergetics, I think, was my question.
Yeah. So but yeah, we're talking about our own fitness. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember the origin of that, but I don't know. Do you have anything else to add to that?
No, that was kind of it. I just want to have that question about what you thought about like running, if it would my own training.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah. I mean, yeah. So like circuits, you know, it's I would say jiu-jitsu is most related to like exercise wise, like more like circuits where high intensity, low intensity, or maybe like HIIT training more specifically.
But that can help for like your lactate threshold though.
Yeah, so it'll help with your lactate threshold, but it's the good building blocks to then transition into more of like a 1.5 mile straight run.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like I think like once I transition to like the running part, like I think I'll come in fairly conditioned, you know.
Yeah,
I won't come in out of shape.
Yeah, you'll have a better base to work from than like not doing any kind of cardio at all.
Yeah, because I remember I was doing those quarter mile like repeats. I was telling you I was doing that. But like that's obviously translates more directly. But there's just I don't think I can put that in my program at this point right now. Especially since I feel confident with running, I'll get there anyways. So
yeah,
just leave it out for now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So I think that's it there. For our own fitness thing, a couple of things like somewhat fitness related, but not like specifically programming and whatnot. I signed us up for a thing, for podcast related. Spotify they just sent me an email. And it's called this next Spotify Next Wave, and it was just for like podcasters who are like in school or like just coming out of school or whatever. As the name tells, Next Wave. So it's a digital. I don't know if I think it's available like because it's digital whenever, but I think it's available to us December 4th. But it's like a masterclass, like a digital masterclass thing. You know, like I'm sure you've seen like whatchamacallit. Commercials for those like the masterclass things, and like teach you more about just like podcasting and whatnot. So I thought that'd be interesting. So December 4th, that's available. I don't even know when that is. Just to learn more about podcasting. And they said, if we put specific questions regarding podcasting. I thought the number one thing is just like how to market your podcast and like have more people watch it. Because I feel like just riffing and talking and whatnot, like, you know, I feel like it's pretty easy. We know what we're doing there. It's just like getting it heard. Yeah. So I don't know who the fuck even listens to these. I don't think anyone really.
Yeah.
And I try and put them on my Instagram page and whatnot, but like I don't know, you know, like I don't even have that many followers to start with, so it's like whatever. So yeah, there's that. That doesn't really transition well. I'll talk about that later. I talked to you about this right before we started, but in regards to my PT business, I thought it would be a good idea to sign up for the local Chamber of Commerce, just to kind of get some connections or whatever, you know, for business and whatnot. And then it took forever for them to finally send the welcome pack, and then I finally got it, and there was all these different things of what they're gonna do, and like different networking mixers and whatnot, and literally none of it's panned out like at all. I'm so upset. I can't remember how it was like at least a couple $100 I paid to join, and I'm getting like zero benefit out of it. What I thought this was a pretty good idea, and let me know, is for like workplace wellness is like becoming much more of a thing, like in regards to like employee insurance and just that all that type of thing, and just having more healthy employees. And I was like, okay, so how can I transition that? So I was like, why don't I reach out to all like the chamber members and just offer that as like a workplace wellness kind of program. I was like, because I'm a pretty unique situation where I have like personal training certification, I have my group back certification, and also my health coaching certification. So I was like, I could do any three of those, like one-on-one PT with people, or as a group kind of setting with all your employees, or if you don't really want to do more of the fitness route and just work on just wellness, which I think is important too, especially in this time, um, to offer that too. And so I went through and got all the emails of all the people. It was like 100 different people. Sent them out, and dude, I swear, like almost a quarter of them were invalid, or like just didn't go through or whatever.
Yeah.
And then of all the other ones, zero people got back to me. I was like, God damn it, bro. This is so fucking annoying. And then like I emailed the people at the chamber, and they're like, I was like, do you have like an updated email list or whatever? And they're like, no, that's what we have. I'm like, oh my God. And then I made this whole like flyer thing to put on their Facebook page, and literally like one person liked it. I was like, who the fuck is even looking at this? It's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I thought this would be such a good idea, and it's just like not panning out.
Well, I feel like it's because of COVID. It's like, is there normally supposed to be events?
Yeah, there's normally like events they have, but none of those are going on right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I should have just known this from the jump that things aren't probably going as normal because of that. But I was just like so gung ho, and I was like, fuck it up. But yeah, I wish they would have let me know beforehand, like, hey,
Yeah.
we're not going to be having these things like anytime soon. And it's just frustrating, I wish that was going better, but anyways, that's that. Next, I'm getting a sauna, which is pretty lit. I told you right before, but
That's what I miss about the YMCA.
yeah, I was gonna say that's one of the biggest things I miss about the YMCA is no sauna, because I mean if you're not familiar, the benefits of the heat shock proteins from extreme heat that you get in a sauna is extremely good for recovery, and that kind of ties into what we were talking to before. Is I think for both of us, recovery is kind of a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to have that available at my house. If you want to use it, let me know. But it's almost even better than having it at the Y, because from what I've heard in regards to the sauna, I don't know if you heard differently, is that I would always use it like right after my workouts, because it's just easy. It's right there. You can just go and do it. But I've heard what's better is you do your workout, you recover, bring your heart rate down and your body heat down, and let those metabolic processes happen, and like let those functions happen, eat your food or whatever, and then like 3-4 hours later hit the sauna, and that'll actually improve the benefits of it even more. Have you heard a similar thing?
I've heard I haven't heard much into it, but I've heard that before. Like it would be optimal to wait.
Yeah, and not do it immediately after.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of, challenging, logistically at the Y, because you'd have to go back 2 different times, and
shower
it's just
2 times.
Yeah, it's just like I don't care that much about showering, but just like the back and forth kind of thing. I was like, how much of a benefit are you really getting out of it to make it worth it driving over here again? But if I have my house, perfect. Just jump in there and do it. So I'm pretty excited about that. We got like a do your own kind of one, like put it all together, and the problem with that one is that they didn't give an outside shell, like not shell, but I mean sort of a shell, but like wood paneling to put on the outside, because you'd have the inside paneling, and then the wrap thing to insulate it, but then that would just be exposed.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have any paneling to put on the outside.
Yeah.
And me and my dad were like, "What the fuck? What is this how it's supposed to be?"
Yeah.
And then we like contacted the people, and they're like, "Yeah, it's meant to be like go down in a basement or something." I was like, "Who the fuck has a basement around here?" So we were like, "No, this is not gonna work." So we sent that one back, and then we got a new one. It's coming. So I'm excited about
Nice.
that. Yeah. And then did I talk about the Milken men's basketball team last
You
time?
were talking a little bit about that last time.
Yeah, still trying to make that work. The problem is right now is they don't have a head coach, and I guess the team can't work out until they have a head coach. So I'm like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I need this so bad, because if that goes through, then I can just quit the camp. Because I don't really want to be doing that anymore. Well, yeah, this is the second time I've referenced that, but we'll come back to it again because it kind of ties into the current events better. So I can just quit that because I'm kind of sick of that. It's just getting really boring and stale. And then just do that. Make considerably more money, and it'll be way more fun because we're, like the bioenergetics and
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of stuff that we're more interested in. Be able to do that. So I'm really hoping that goes through soon because it's stressing me out. The lady was like so gung-ho. I was talking to her on the phone. And she's like, yeah, like next week, send me an email with like pricing. And I didn't even call it because I was like, I don't know how to go about this. Like pricing and then how you would structure it and like what you go over with the kids and whatnot.
I'm sure you could have shot like Jan or Kelly an email too.
About like, what do you mean?
About like,
oh, just like how to go about the program.
Yeah, because Kelly's mentioned that before. I think for at least for like stuff like health coaching, like she said, like reach out to me about like.
I might do that for health coaching related stuff because I think I want to expand upon that because I haven't really done anything with that certification.
You can reach out to them for.
I don't fuck with Jan though.
Not because of the whole program.
Yeah, she sucks.
I like personally. I like her. She's cool, but
she's a terrible teacher too. Did we have the class together that she taught? I can't even remember the name of the class.
Elderly one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it.
It was pretty lax. Yeah.
It was lax, but like, I mean, she would be. You could tell she did not do any type of preparation before coming in to teach those. She was just kind of reading off the slides, and there was like multiple times throughout the year. I mean, it was long ago. I couldn't really tell you exact examples, but like where she just said like blatantly wrong stuff, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" Remember? Do you remember? We'd both look at each other and we were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I do remember that class being like kind of like just like a formality to go through.
Yeah.
There's some little bit of stuff I got.
That class was a checking off the box type of class.
Yeah. I mean, during the semester I was okay with it though.
Yeah. But I was just like, I don't even think she's that good of a professor. And then, so I signed up for my my classes for my last semester, this upcoming semester, and my registration date was the 20th, and by then, 332 was completely full, and then fitness management was at 469.
Mm-hmm.
There was one person on the waiting list. I was like, if I don't get into these goddamn fucking classes,
Wait, your registration date wasn't even.
it was November 20th,
and they were full. But you were supposed to be a senior. How does that work?
I know. So I fucking emailed the department email, and I explained the situation. I was like, I tried to get into 469 last spring. I'm trying again now. There's one person on the wait list, and then 332 is all 4 classes are completely full. And I was like, look, I tried to get in this class before. I wasn't able to. If I don't get in these classes, it's gonna be super upsetting because I've already spent a ton of money here. I have good grades, good standing in the program. I'm a fucking senior, and these are the last. I'm in the other 3 classes. These are the last 2 classes I need to get into to be done, and I can't actually take these 2 classes, or I can't take 489D if I don't get into these 2 classes because it has to be your last class.
Yeah.
It's just this convoluted fucking step by step. Like you got to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And the most passive aggressive fucking email ever. I was like, you better get me into these fucking classes.
Yeah.
Because 469 is only a spring class, so I can't do it in the fall. And I'm not waiting a whole nother spring, basically a whole nother year take it next spring.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking mess.
Yeah.
You think they'd look out for people that are in my situation where I've tried to get in the class before. I'm a senior, good grades, like I said before. It's a fucking mess. I just can't stand it.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. I'm still waiting for an email back. And I don't even know who the department chair is now, because it's not Jan. Because I went on to the faculty
Yeah, no,
thing.
it's not. She stepped down like the last semester. She went back to teaching. Like when
Yeah.
she wasn't the faculty chair when we were taking her classes.
She wasn't?
No, she wasn't the department chair.
I don't know who it is. Because last time I had problems at the beginning of last semester in the fall, I contacted her because I was like, I don't know who else is in charge. But this time I went on the faculty list, and there was actually a chair, but that person was under sports psychology. So I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because we're under fitness. But there was no other chair available. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know who to even fucking contact here.
Yeah.
It's a racket. But anyways, I got off topic. What was I saying? What was I talking about?
That came from the Millikins basketball team, I believe.
How did I make that?
How did I make
oh, no, you were like, you should contact
yeah.
Kelly or Jan.
Yeah.
So I don't fuck with Jan. But I might reach out to Kelly.
Kelly was cool.
Yeah.
She must have had her kid. Who else was having a kid? Oh, Ellen Carter.
Ellen Carter. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I might reach out to her about doing like a health coaching program, cause like I put together my free 4-week body weight program on my website just for anyone that signs up on the website, and right now I'm recording my 8-week single kettlebell program that I'm putting together. But I want to go more health coaching related stuff on there too. So I want to put that together on like SMART goals, setting all that kind of stuff. A more do it yourself type of thing. But then I'll also have like a plan, like a program ran through myself. Not a program, but like a basically like personal training, but health coaching.
Yeah. Kind
of like through me more guided as opposed to do it yourself. And yeah. And then, like I said, I want to do more of that workplace wellness stuff, but just sending that email out into the ether did not work very well. And so, I was thinking of how to go about that better. I was like, the best way I was thinking is probably like contacting like the head HR person of like a company, because they would probably deal with that sort of stuff, and then work it through them. But I was like, I don't even know how to make those connections and whatnot, mm-hmm. So. Maybe Kelly would be able to help out with that.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, men's Millikin basketball team. I hope that goes through because, like I said, I'd be able to quit the other one because I'm sick of that and move on to bigger and better things. But anyways, okay, you want to get into the topic of the day? What time?
Yeah.
Dude, we're already 43 minutes. Jesus Christ. Dude, I need to pee. I drank too much coffee.
All right.
You want to just set it up, the Jeff Nippard video?
Yeah, sure.
And then I'll be back. Sorry. I really gotta pee, dude.
No, you're good. So the topic is on Jeff Nippard's fumble.
Sorry.
It's fine. He recently has kind of been on like this power building hybrid program, power building / hypertrophy, but a little bit based towards or geared towards powerlifting, I guess. Yeah. And he's just kind of talking about like, can you get bigger and stronger simultaneously? And it's just kind of talking about like, referenced various studies and whatnot. Because traditionally, like, going through the kinesiology program and as a trainer, you kind of hear like the typical strength rep ranges are 1 to 5. And then for hypertrophy, it's generally, you can say like 8 to 12 or just anywhere from 6 to 15. And then for endurance, it's 15 plus. Ooh, plus! Damn. 15 plus, 12 plus, something more like that. It's kind of like the traditional rigid sense of things. But like this whole like video and whatnot that he was kind of talking about was just, can you do both at the same time in regards to strength and hypertrophy? And it's kind of something that I think we've kind of like studied or known, or like it's well, right now I'd say it's like kind of one of the hotter topics. Greg Doucette's talking about it. People in fitness talking about it right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, from just studying it for a while and listening to like people like Mike Israetel, like I feel like you and I like kind of already got a good understanding. Like we talked about before we started this podcast, like we already kind of hashed it out a little bit, and it's kind of already got to the bottom of it, but we'll go over
Yeah,
it
just
again.
introduce it to you guys.
Yeah.
Whoever's listening. Yeah. So yeah, getting bigger and stronger. What's the verdict? Just off the rip, what do you say?
Sure. Well, basically, yes, you can do both. But if you're trying to get as strong as possible, then you need strength specific. You need to lift in those rep ranges and focus on recovery. And then if you want to get stronger and bigger, you can. But if you're trying to also get bigger, which is hypertrophy, then you also need to be wary of how much high intensity, low rep work you're doing, because you will get bigger with it. But the trade-off is it is very fatiguing. And then fatigue can be a limiting factor, whatnot. So that's where you work in some higher volume work as well, because volume is also a good driver of hypertrophy, as is intensity. So
Yeah, 100%. So what he kind of talks about in the video is like the textbook answer is like strength is that like 1 to 5 rep range, hypertrophy is that 6 to 12, and then endurance is that 12 plus. And it's a very like textbook answer, but it's a little bit more in depth to that, because like I always think about Israetel. He kind of always talks about you can get hypertrophy anywhere from that range of like 6 to 30,
Yeah.
And research has shown that that's possible. But if you're going by this graph, and I like how he also talks about like Instagram infographics, those like simpleton, like trying to just make a very complex concept into like this simple, just little Instagram post, is like based upon that kind of thing. You'd have like a standard kind of bell curve, where at the low rep ranges you'd have very low hypertrophy, and that like 10 to 12 is where your peak hypertrophy is, and then it would go back down and make that bell curve at like the high ranges, like 20 to 30, very low hypertrophy. But what it really shows, and he showed the study he referenced is actually from the researcher Greg Nuckols, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, and it actually shows that there's really no correlation between rep range and hypertrophy, and it was actually showed that there was evidence that there was high muscle hypertrophy in all different rep ranges.
What's most important is approaching failure, right? That's the most stimulating reps as you approach failure.
Yes, that's what he said. Is as long as you're essentially what you're saying is as long as you're doing that, then you'll be getting hypertrophy. What else did I want to say about that? Oh, the only thing he said is like what's not going to induce growth in is 20%. Any kind of exercise, if you're doing like 20% or less of your 1 rep max, you're not really going to be inducing much growth, because then you're just really high rep range. You're going to go way above like that 30 reps.
So you're probably more likely to get like a cardio workout than you are.
Yeah, essentially you're turning into cardio, right? You're going to be like 50 plus reps most likely, depending on the exercise. With a squat or like compound like a squat, you're probably going to be getting more rep range, higher rep range, as opposed to maybe like a bicep curl, but like really high repetitions, and that's turning into cardio. And a lot of people don't really understand that, because what I've noticed is when I teach my boot camp classes is people think that movements like a squat or a deadlift or whatnot are always strength based, and then things like jumping jacks and like mount climbers or whatever is cardio.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a boot camp class, so it's all cardio, right? It doesn't matter your exercise selection. It's your rep ranges essentially. So I don't do by rep ranges, because that makes it challenging programming when you have a shitload of people. So I do it by time. But I'll do time intervals of like 45 seconds, and you do multiple rounds of that. Anywhere from like 3 to 6, 7, 8 rounds. So your rep ranges are extremely high, and not a lot of rest too. But people still think it's like strength exercises. It's like, no, this is all just cardio. Like, it doesn't matter the movement you're doing. So yeah,
Because the load is so low.
yeah, you know, you're squatting with like maybe like 15, 20 pound dumbbell or whatever, you know.
I mean, in theory, you are getting stronger. Like there is a stimulus, but it's not like
yeah,
it's
especially
not,
for those type of people that like
for those type of people. Yes,
aren't doing anything and they're going to something. You know, you're
yeah,
gonna have some, you know,
they're eking it out. They're getting some.
yeah, they're getting some kind of strength gains from it, but
It's pretty minimal. Otherwise, if you were somewhat serious.
yeah, if you have any type of
background strength training,
yeah,
it's cardio.
Yeah. So I just wanted to explain that because there's just a misunderstanding of that. What else here do I want to talk about? So yeah, like I said, my personal opinion is like you can get hypertrophy in any of those kind of rep ranges. Like Isertel, he kind of put it into a more understandable kind of thing for me. Is that anywhere from 5 to 30, you're gonna get a hypertrophy. And it's important to do all these rep ranges. Did you talk about that before I came back?
I didn't mention the difference. No, I mean it also depends on like your genetic predispositions that you might be favored towards one, but also even if not, like if you're generally like, you get the best growth at 10 to 12, but like you'll still like your slower twitch muscle fibers will also grow at that like that 30 plus range. So you can also eke out some growth of those fibers. If you touch on that as well.
Yeah,
that's kind of why like I kind of mentioned like that guy Coach Kasem before, like the N1. I've mentioned it. I've definitely mentioned to people that I'm not talking about too much, but like his company's called like N1 training because like they like the you know like when you do like a study like N is equal to like the participants and like so it's N1 because like they want to be ultra specific for like that one individual. So like that's like with ourselves like we do it too, like we kind of like auto regulate and fine tune the programming so it fits us really well where we get good muscle connections, where we get good pumps, blah blah blah, like what rep ranges and whatnot. But like, you also can do that with your clients too. You know, I can see like which works out for them, but not neglect the other stuff because they're also going to see gains here. It might not be as big of a piece of the pie as like the rest of the program, but you also should address that for the optimal gains.
100%. I agree. I think Isertel generally says that 50% of your training should be in that mid range, and then like 25 in the lower, and then 25 in the higher. But everyone's different. Genetically based, and
I think that's a great rule of thumb.
That's a great rule of thumb to go from, and I implemented that. It also makes it easier for programming because then you know you do your heavier stuff in the beginning of the week and your lighter stuff towards the end of the week, and just kind of reducing injury possibilities. And I think that's just a smart way to start it from, and you're gonna be getting. You're gonna be getting stronger a little bit because you're getting those lower rep ranges, but you're also gonna be getting bigger because you're putting that metabolic stress. So yeah, that's one interesting thing he talked about. Like what induces growth in that low rep range is the mechanical tension, which is mechanical tension, and then in the higher rep range is going to be more metabolic stress, and then both of them is somewhere kind of in the middle, and you have those middle rep ranges. But that's, I believe, what's his face Meadows was talking about when we went over that a couple weeks ago. Is like the most important things. Yeah, activation, mechanical tension, and exhausting muscle fibers. So yeah, metabolic stress is basically exhausting muscle fibers.
I have a question. Hoping you could help me out. Cause like the three primary drivers of hypertrophy: mechanical tension, muscle damage, and metabolic stress. Right. But
well, he said
that's what he said. But like, I've heard like I think it's Isertel and also Brett Contreras says it's muscle. I believe it's muscle damage, mechanical tension, and metabolic stress. But what's the difference between mechanical tension? Is that load or is that stretch under load? Is that what mechanical tension is?
Yeah.
But like that's when you're stretch under load like that. That's also when muscle damage happens as well, though, right? Like they're pretty closely related, right? But it also depends on the exercise, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking about like what exercises, like for example, like the RDL, like that's a very like eccentric dominant like stretch like under load.
Like a lot of mechanical tension on that one.
Yeah, but which induces a lot of muscle damage. So I was just trying to think of the relationship between mechanical tension and muscle damage.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really know. So I just Googled mechanical tension is defined as overloading force to the muscle fibers.
So it's not okay. So it's just,
It's related to heavy lifting, as bigger weights can actually increase tension.
but that's kind of is stretch under load as well, right? Overloading the muscle fibers.
Yeah. Resulting in greater pulling forces against.
I'm just
the
trying to
muscle.
get really dial in the
metabolic
difference.
stress doesn't cause as much muscle damage. Well, yeah, I think it does, because then more metabolic stress.
Well, it's accumulating
more,
metabolites. That's like
which breaks down muscle fiber.
Yeah.
Mechanical tension does that a different way, where it literally almost kind of like pulls like the sarcomeres apart and gets that that tear. So I think you get the muscle damage from both. So just different ways.
I'm almost thinking like a muscle damage on top, and then like it kind of comes off into mechanical tension and metabolic stress.
That's I might be bullshitting you right now, but from what I understand, yeah, that's kind of.
I can look it up. I have notes on that. I'm gonna look that up just to get a better understanding. But like they're all so closely related. But yeah.
Yeah. But that's kind of how I would explain it. Because you have like, yeah, the tearing of the muscle fibers directly from mechanical tension, but then you have the denaturing of protein. The protein. What the fuck? Like the protein or not fibers, but
filaments.
No, just I can't think of the proper word. The denaturization of just the proteins. We'll just say the proteins from the metabolic stress, which then once you recover and do all that stuff, it rebuilds and makes it stronger. Y'all feel?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I explain it. Yeah. How did we get to that point? I don't remember.
I don't know, drivers of hypertrophy or whatnot.
Yeah,
in relation to rep ranges and whatnot.
Yeah, so low range is that mechanical tension versus high rep is the metabolic stress. Yeah, I think that's it there. So,
just one thing to note that I remember Jeff Nippard saying about like his power building program is like he's felt like he has like his best like erector development that he's had. Mm-hmm. Like I saw a picture and like it was like the lats just feed into the erectors and they like super like super good, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of miss like deadlifting because it is a really satisfying exercise to be programming, you know?
It is very satisfying. I haven't deadlifted in a really long time.
Neither have I.
But you know what's also really satisfying? I've been doing a lot of clean and jerks, and those are super satisfying. When you like hit, like you pull up and just get the perfect catch and like lift it up. I'm coming to enjoy that a lot more, and it's pretty rewarding. Like I think I said this before the podcast, but like it was kind of brutal getting back into lifting, and like I had zero power development or force production rather. Just because of the muscle fiber changes, and I'm starting to build that back up, and I'm back to like I hit a 160 single clean and jerk, and that felt pretty good. Like I was, and what was funny about that too is actually I went for one rep, and I had triple extension, the shrug, and I was like about to do it and drop underneath it, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, oh fuck, I don't know, and I just like gave myself a second, reset. Went for it again and just like stuck it on the second go, and yeah, that was pretty cool. So just finding those lifts that are satisfying. Yeah. It's fun to do. Anything else we want to talk about with this? Mm-hmm. One of the things actually I want to talk about is he talked about strength being a specific skill. So if you want to like really optimize your strength, I think I heard you talking about this right when I got back, is to really optimize it, you don't want to be doing those high ranges. You want to get very specific with it. And that's what a lot of people forget about weightlifting. Or just exercise in general. It's a skill. And there's lots of different skills within that. Weightlifting being one of them. And you can even break weightlifting into different types of skills. Like you have the powerlifting, you have the Olympic lifting, you have like the bodybuilding type of lifting, and then there's all different other types of skills in regards to fitness. Like cycling is a particular skill, running is a particular skill, swimming, and so this is just general to get both strength and hypertrophy because I mean, 99% of dudes that work out, that's like what they want, right? Either to lose weight or to get stronger and bigger. But to really optimize for a particular thing, this wouldn't be the best thing to do. But just for general fitness, which is like most people, I think this is good information. Yeah, that's it for the topic. Anything else to talk about? I don't think so. So that's it. We'll go to what time are we at? We're an hour. Yeah, we can go through these real quick. Yeah, real quick, we'll talk about current events. First one is the Dr. Mike Israetel merch. We were talking about this before. We're talking about copping. I think I'll get one of those. So first one, well, the whole thing is just like called Full Rom Apparel. He has one that's Team Full Rom. I kind of want to get both because like wearing that to the gym would be hilarious. Because not going to the gym for so long, just from the triathlon training, I forgot just how fucking terrible people are at the gym.
Yeah, it's funny when you watch people.
Dude, this was wild. I was at one of the squat racks. You know how the Y is set up right now? They have the two squat racks right next to each other, and then they have the one that was used to be upstairs off to the side.
Mm.
And so I was on the right side one squat rack, and there was a guy. I knew off the rip this guy had no idea what he's doing because he just walked in. He went straight over to the squat bar, the one off to the side, and there was like a 5-pound plate on each side for whatever reason, and he just literally, he didn't do any type of warm-up. He just walked up to it and just got underneath the bar and like started doing some reps, and they weren't even like half reps, dude. Like, I mean, they were just atrocious.
Minimal knee break.
Yeah, minimal. Say at least.
Almost doing calf raises type thing.
Yeah. And so I was just doing my thing. I was just watching, and then he took the 5s off, and then he put 45s on, and those were atrocious too. He was just had no type of depth, and he was off balance actually. He like went down, didn't even break halfway, and was off balance. I was like, oh, I got to keep an eye on this guy.
When you mean halfway, do you mean like quarter squats?
Like, yeah, quarter squats.
Yeah,
just
didn't even get there.
Like, well, he was getting like quarter squats. Like, they were just bad, right? And he was off balance doing those. And then I was like, I got to keep my eye on this guy. But I was doing a set, so I couldn't. And he didn't clip the bar. He was off balance. Plate fell off, slid off the side, and just you know that whole thing, right? And just like there was not that many people there because it was a Saturday. And he just like kind of just played it off and like was like, did anyone see that? I saw the whole fucking. Well, I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw the
Jeez,
the
dude.
bar going all
How
crazy.
old is this guy?
That's the thing. He was older too. He was like late 20s, early 30s. I was like, homie, bro.
Just ask someone to teach you or YouTube it or something.
Yes, do something, bro.
Yeah.
When the plate falls off the bar, there's a problem, right? And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then get this. He puts another plate on. This guy had 2 plates on. And then he...
Oh,
and this is even wilder. He put a bench behind him, and then he wasn't even hitting the bench. He wasn't even going to the depth.
He was doing box squats
without in the box. I was like, this man is insane.
Wow.
I was like, that's the one thing I miss from the gym is just dummies like that.
Gym fuckery. Yeah.
Gym fuckery to the max.
Yeah.
I should have been recording. I was shook, bro.
You should have helped bro out.
I was about to say something. I was just like, I don't know. I don't like. I hate when people come up and start saying stuff.
Like,
but
I know I feel that, but like, are you really gonna let him go off in his life, like and do squats like that?
It's a weird moral question. I don't know.
I
just don't feel.
Like
I just don't feel obligated to say anything anymore.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
But it's just like.
If you care to know, you'll reach out to someone that knows what you're doing, or like you said, YouTube. You just have no excuse nowadays.
Yeah.
There's just so much information out there. You have no excuse. So if you're doing that, then you obviously don't really care. And then if I say something, you're probably just gonna get all upset about it, or just blow me off, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So, and it's just a big ego hit, because like with him, there's just so many things going wrong. It's not just like, hey, you just got to do like this one little fix. You need to work on your hip mobility, your ankle mobility. You need to do some body weight squats, hit proper depth, this, that, and the other. There isn't just like one simple fix, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like it's just a whole project, and it's just like I don't care to put myself into that problem. But yeah, anyways, that whole story, you know, team full ROM, and then the partial reps don't count, and then in the funny font, the more you know. It's pretty good March, man. That's pretty good. I might actually have to get both. Next is yeah, gyms are closing back down indoor activities, and this is affecting my gym because we weren't able to do the full boot camp classes inside, but we were able to do the small group training. So get this, we were doing small group training, 10 people, all wearing masks, 6 feet apart, and that is now just strictly prohibited. Can't do it at all. But they do the boot camp classes outside, and there's like 20 to 40 people a class, and we have to do circuits because people are stealing dumbbells basically, so they don't allow any of the clients to go get them and bring them across the street to the parking lot where we're working out. We have to set it all up. So people are all, and you know, we're in like a 20 slot kind of area, like parking spots. And, you know, everyone's just around each other. No one's wearing masks, or a few people do. And touching all equipment, you know, you're spraying down, but it's just like, how is this allowed? And we can't do inside with all these necessary precautions. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, right?
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So now I'm not able to do the small group training and make that money because you make significantly more because you make commission off those. And now I can only do the bootcamp classes, and I have no idea how long this is gonna last. So I'm just thinking like, and now I'm thinking like, why am I even working there? Because I started there just to get to the small group training classes. Yeah. That's all I was trying to do. I was like, I'm gonna just do these, kind of just suck it up, and then eventually get to those and make way more money. Now I can't even do that. So I'm like, I'm almost considering just quitting, even if I don't get this Milk and basketball team gig because they're just slacking. It's just, and the classes are just so boring, so fucking boring. So I do it 2 times a week, and I do Tuesdays and Fridays, and both those days are leg days. So I'm just like trying to come up with 2 different workouts every week for just legs. And it's just so fucking boring. Brutal. So yeah, gyms are just constantly getting fucked, and that sucks. COVID, you know. Next thing, did you see this? Do you follow Steffi Cohen on Instagram?
Mm-mm.
So you know that that it's a couple and they're photographers. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like It's like almost like orangutan, but it's like a little bit different. Oringa something. Are you familiar?
No.
You probably know if I bring it up here. But essentially it's like this couple, and they do like photo shoots, and like their whole thing is just like chicks that just have banging ass bodies, super tan, oiled up. Where's your Wi-Fi? I guess it's my data, huh? I'm not connected to your Wi-Fi. I don't even know how to spell it actually. I'm terrible. I should have been better prepped. Anyways, Steffi Cohen, she's a world record powerlifter, this, that, and the other, and she's not really known for like doing that kind of Instagram, thirst trapping type of photo shoots, you know, that a lot of girls do, but she did one. It wasn't like super revealing or anything, but you know, it was like much more like feminine type of thing than she normally does, and she looked real good. I was like, damn. And then I felt so bad because like a week later, you know how they show you like impressions and stuff on Instagram, like how many likes, how many impressions, this, that, and the other. And like a week before she did that photo shoot thing, she put out a book, and she just basically compared the numbers of like her book versus the photos of her with the orangutan or whatever people. And it upset me. It upset me. I'll be honest, because it was just like, obviously the one with her just with her ass out was just like insane, like way more numbers. And then she like, in the caption, she was like, you know, basically kind of just talked about it. And this is something we kind of talked about with just Instagram fitness being taken over by like hot chicks who don't really know that much about fitness, but then like they just kind of,
Suck up all the press.
yeah, just like they just basically pose in bikinis and whatnot, and then like be like, oh yeah, here's my fitness program too, and it's still dog shit information, but they get all the attention because that's just like what social media is nowadays, and then like legit doctor that Steffi Cohen is, who knows what she's doing, like she can't get the same type of interaction with people when she wrote like a whole ass book. It just kind of bummed me out,
Yeah.
It's just the problem with fitness.
Yeah.
On Instagram, which we talked about before. I don't know. You have any other input on that?
Yeah, I mean that's just the way it is. That's what we talked about before.
It is what it is, and it just I don't know, like how do you? There's just nothing you can even really do. It's just kind of upsetting that's the case, and I thought I'd just bring it up at least. All right. Two more things. The McGregor. So your boy McGregor, he's fighting. What are your thoughts on that?
Pretty stoked on it. We'll see.
You think he's gonna be Poirier for a second time?
I think he should. I mean, who knows what we'll get? I mean, he's been so inconsistent over the past couple of years, like in terms of like fighting. Actively. So.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting is he keeps pushing. At first, I thought it was kind of like just like a whatever thing, but his McGregor Fast program, the fighter aerobic / anaerobic systems of training, and he's been pushing out a lot more, and like, and he looks like in pretty good shape in his last few.
He's looking pretty yoked.
Yeah, he's looking thick, like his broad ass shoulders and chest, and looking pretty vascular, But I thought that was interesting that he has like his whole training program. I wonder how much input he has in that in regards to programming and whatnot, or if he just has.
I don't think it's the name.
You think he's just putting his name behind it?
I mean, I think it's stuff that he does and whatnot. Like he's working with his team, but like he's just not a fucking exercise scientist. Like I don't think he's like running the theory behind it.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds really good because like I'll just read you the description. The Conor McGregor Fast Conditioning System is a zone-based workout program for ultimate performance. Conditioning program can be used as standalone training plan to achieve intense explosive power, ultimate speed, and endurance, all over conditioning, or it can be incorporated into your existing sport-specific training for an extra boost to take you to the next level. So, that's cool because he's using like heart rate zones and aerobic, anaerobic. So at least.
It sounds like he's got a good team running it.
Yeah,
it sounds
like very good programming around it. Because I think we've talked about this past. MMA is a very interesting sport because it requires a lot metabolically from you. You obviously have to have very good cardiovascular endurance, but also need to explode. Whether that be for like a takedown, kicks, punches.
Very well-rounded, requiring sport.
Yeah, you need to be fast, but you also you need to have that anaerobic capacity. Everything's kind of a mixture in there. So he keeps pushing this kind of program. Like, I wish I had the. Obviously, this is a dumbass question or dumbass statement, but I wish I had like the reach that he had to then put my own kind of program like this together and put it out there. That'd be super sick. Cause like I'm looking through this and it has, it's very in depth and like I'm talking about blood lactate levels and like.
That's what I'm talking about. Like it's obviously not.
And like performance gains and stuff. It's like it's pretty in depth.
Yeah.
And any type of person who's like an athlete who like wants to get into it
would appreciate this.
Yeah. At least checking it out because he's hitting on all the different markers and it's like super sick.
I think he just took that rich money he has now and said, "Hey, give me I want a good team around me. I want like the top sports scientists, blah blah blah." And then I think he was doing it for a while and he said, like let's sell this. Like what I've been doing, what you guys have been having me doing. Let's put a program together and let's sell this.
Yeah.
It's like if you read that, like someone who's like kind of studied like exercise science or like I guess fitness like formally, like you can we recognize like this is pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I kind of thought it was just like bullshit at first. Like when I first saw him kind of pushing it.
Yeah, but no, it's good there.
I feel like $20 a month, which is like really good. RAM tests, I don't know. exactly what that is, but fast zone calculator, probably just a heart rate, just to calculate your heart rate zones, and then custom workout schedule, fast TV. It's probably just instructional videos, and then
I saw his
articles.
post the other day where he was like latissimus dorsi. Did you see that?
No,
Oh, it's kind of funny. He said,
but I think he's pretty knowledgeable about this stuff. And then it's sponsored by Reebok, Concept Two, and Food
I don't know. Like
Mass.
that one time I saw him post about like the chin ups or something when he like you pull up like this, like it's like your guard, you know. Like you ever seen that post?
No.
Then I saw that post. I was like, shut your ass up.
Well, this is like blocking, right?
I didn't know.
I mean-
I was just like listening to him talk about it, like it was like a little bit of bro science, and
Uh-huh.
but like it was in his accent. He had so much confidence, and I was like, I'll let you get away with that.
Is he still working with his boy?
John something.
Yeah, what's his name? John something. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that fight because I don't know. MMA for me personally has been kind of boring lately. I haven't really been keeping track with it.
There hasn't been too much big, like, real
Dude,
recently.
I just need what's his face, John Jones to fight Stipe or Ngannou so bad.
You see how much weight he's put on?
Jones, no, I haven't seen it, but I've seen some memes about it.
Yeah,
Is he looking pretty thicky?
I think he's like he made an Instagram post or a Twitter. It's like,
But I mean, he's going up to heavyweight, so that makes
yeah,
sense.
but he hit like 240 or something like that.
240.
And it was like I saw like some meme about like John Jones, like, oh yeah, he's so big, and it was like somewhere like there was like a juice bottle in there.
John Jones. Is it on his Insta?
I don't know.
Bony. Hilarious.
It was like him underneath a bar. That one right there, that middle second row. 240 never felt so good.
Should be ready in the next few months. Yeah, I mean, he's looking more like a heavyweight. I think he's doing the right things. Cameron Haynes. Shout out. I mean, look at his back.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, I think the thing is with that is like, if he fights Ngannou, which I want to see the most, is I feel like everyone's gonna be like, oh, Ngannou's just way bigger. John Jones is gonna have to just use a little bit more technique, boxing, and like outbox him. But like, he's how big is Ngannou?
I have no idea.
Does he? I think he actually cuts weight to make heavyweight, which is like 265, right? I don't know. It's pretty interesting. John Jones.
No, heavyweight can't be that big in the.
Heavyweight limit. UFC. Yeah, 265.
206 to 265. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive Ngannou cuts weight to make heavyweight.
Damn.
I'm almost positive he does.
That's crazy.
And he said he was 240.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, John Jones is gonna be looking nice. He's gonna be looking nice. I hope he fights Ngannou. That'd be sick.
Damn.
All right. Last thing here, and then we'll call it World's Strongest Man 2020. It almost didn't happen just because of COVID and whatnot. But I don't even know how to pronounce homie's name. Oleksiy Novikov won it, which is a big upset. So many big names weren't in it this year. Thor, because he was having problems with the World's Strongest Man people, kind of stemming back to the Eddie Hall thing, that they had. And they released that, and he didn't like that. He's been streaming now. He's been like streaming on Twitch, and then Martin Lises, he is injured from a bunch of different stuff, but he also was in a car crash. He was on a bike and he got hit by a car. And then Mateus, can't pronounce his name either. He's a big up and coming guy. I believe he had COVID. And then, so like a lot of big names were in it. So a lot of people were expecting Brian Shaw. He was like the favorite to win, and I think he ended up coming like fourth. Pretty brutal loss for him. I guess he's considering retirement now because he's had some pretty poor appearances in the World's Strongest Man and also in the Arnold Classic the last few years, and he's getting up there in age a little bit. So I guess he's been considering retirement, which would be unfortunate. But yeah, there's still some pretty good guys in there, like Robert Oberst and Tom Stolman, to give him a run for his money. But I mean, this guy, I've seen him around. He always just kind of looked like a guy that he was good enough to make it but never win it. But he won it, so shout out to him. But I think Martins Licis will be back next year, and then Mateus, and I think one of those guys. I think they're the favorites to win next year. So I'm looking for that. But yeah, it almost didn't happen. I guess they're staying at the place that was happening at for like 4, 5, 6 days, and they were like not sure if it was gonna happen, and then they were finally able to do it, but they had to do it inside the hotel place they were staying. It was like a really weird event. But anyways, shout out to him. Kind of sad for Brian Shaw. He's just a really good guy. He works really hard, so wanted to see him win. But yeah. All right. Anything else to add there?
No, that's good.
All right. A little bit longer one this time. Like I said at the beginning, we're hoping to have our boy Jaden on next time, and more guests in the future. I'll have to figure that out though. Maybe our boy Elijah. Maybe he looks like he's been killing it lately.
Yeah.
You can talk to him. I'll talk to him in a while. But anyways, that's it for the Performance Academy podcast. This has been Zach
And your boy Josh.
and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.